A macroeconomics variable concept. A macroeconomic variable is a factor that measures the whole economy, entire economy, including the total employment, investment, consumption, saving, general price level, GDP, GNP, inflation, deflation, national income, national output, etc. Right? Types is stock variable, flow variable. Stock variable. The macroeconomics variable measured at a point of a time is called stock variable. It changes at a fixed amount point of a time. Example: capital, wealth, and money supply. For flow variable, it is a variable. It is a variable. It is the macro variable measured over a period of a time. It's called flow variable. It shows changes over a period of a time, like investment, consumption, and money. And let's talk about the equilibrium. And if we're talking about the things, like it refers to a situation where there were two different opposite forces, which is aggregate demand and aggregate supply, are in balance. And in other words, in it refers as a situation where two different opposite forces, that demand and supply, are equal. And this equilibrium, it's a situation where two different forces, aggregate demand and aggregate supply, aren't in balance, aren't equal at all. That's it. And here we could talk about its figures. This comes like this: L shape, cutting, intercepting points is equilibrium point, left side is price, below aggregate demand and aggregate supply, downward sloping curve is aggregate demand, upper sloping curve is aggregate supply. And yeah, is denoted as the equilibrium point symbol. And now here we comes down to three types of equilibrium in macroeconomics, which is macrostatic equilibrium, competitive macrostatic equilibrium, and macro dynamic equilibrium. Macrostatic equilibrium, it means that when it study the variable, that is aggregate demand and aggregate supply, it's and a single equilibrium point. It's a macrostatic equilibrium. In short terms, we could say that if you want to explain the figure, on the left side we have got consumption plus investment, on the bottom side we have got the national income, which is denoted as a y. So there is a 45-degree angle where y is as aggregate income, where c plus I, c means aggregate consumption, I means aggregate investment, which is denoted as the aggregate supply. And when the c plus I, it is the aggregate demand, okay, and when this intercepted with the aggregate supply, so there will be the equilibrium point, and just right bottom below there will be the consumption, okay, consumption, just in case. And this is it. I just gotta explain this in figure, and yeah, it's really easy though. And now let's talk about the competitive macrostatic analyze. We're going to talk about the it study two or more equilibrium point at the same given point of a time, particular time, but it doesn't study how the equilibrium point is changes. It does not explain how all these types of changes are occurring over time. There will be nothing better changes, like there will only few changes, which is increase in investment, change in investment, where like we will have the first equilibrium point c plus I, and there will be the second equilibrium point, which is right upward. It's not gonna be the bottom word, it's gonna be upward, c plus I plus change in the triangle shape, triangle I. And yeah, that will be the change in, and that's it. And for the macrodynamic analyzed is the same, but it just study that things. And yeah, that's it in the figure, as I will explain in the exam. Alright guys, this is it for the video. In this chapter we had learned about the introduction of macroeconomics, its scope, its objectives, its limitation. Objectives, I mean uses and importance. And now right now we have got to talk about the equilibrium, disequilibrium, micro and macroeconomics variable concept. And we're going to talk about the macrostatic analyze, macrodynamic analyze, competitive macro static analyze. So three types of macro Three types of macrostatic analysis is also done. Macrostatic equilibrium is also done, and I think I'm done with this chapter. Chapter 1 and chapter 7 is fully revised, and you gotta check out including this video on my YouTube channel. So now we will be talking about the chapter 2 and chapter 3 and chapter 4, just like I'll be just creating this video and uploading on my channel. And afterwards we're gonna move down to the other parts like finance and there is account, some numericals. And yep guys, see you, bye bye, take care.